Hello stars, welcome back to the channel. Happy New Year to you and happy holidays. I hope that everyone had a beautiful holiday, and we're heading into the new year in a few days, and this video is going to be about the new moon in Capricorn that just happened in the wee hours of the night, this past evening. So this is a new moon in Capricorn. It's at 7 degrees 59 minutes Capricorn, so it's just almost 8 degrees Capricorn. And a significant thing about this new moon is that it is conjunct with Mercury retrograde. So normally new moons are great times to think about things that we want to begin, think about things that we want to initiate, sowing seeds for things that we want to cultivate and nurture over the next 6 months. But because this is conjunct in Mercury retrograde, and it's actually at the very depth of the Mercury retrograde. So if Mercury retrograde started right around December 19th in Capricorn, and it's retrograding. It's about halfway at its midpoint right now, and we'll finish retrograding right around January 8th or 9th. So it's at its deepest point of retrograde, and that's what's conjunct to this new moon in Capricorn. So we're kind of at the depths of this retrograde, and because of that, I'm going to say that it's not such a great time to begin new things, to create forward motion, to create a beginning point, like a beginning, a starting of something. I'm going to say that it's really a good time to do reflection, because Mercury retrogrades are usually a good time to reflect upon things, a good time to revise, rethink, re-strategize, reconsider. It's really about going backwards and going over things that have already been started at a prior time. And it's also about completing things that were started at a prior time. So not only, it's a good time to just stop and pause and reflect, relax, think, reconsider, all those things that are just about taking a step back. So I'm calling this new moon a time for deep reflection, rather than initiating any sort of new thing. It can be a time for thinking about what we want to do going forward, because it has that theme about reassessment, reconsidering, replanning. And I'm going to offer that during this new moon, it's really a great time to go within and reflect upon what worked for you this past year and what didn't work. What did you enjoy about this past year, and what did you not enjoy about this past year? What would you like to bring into more for this next coming year, and what would you like to leave behind? So with this particular new moon, instead of setting sights going forward, I think it would be a good opportunity to go backwards and reflect on, have some deep reflection on this past year. And I would even say take an exercise of writing down the things that you enjoyed this past year, writing down your accomplishments, writing down what happened, and reflecting, reconsidering, reassessing. It's a time to reassess goals and things that we want to accomplish, especially with this new moon in Capricorn. Capricorn is all about accomplishments, what we achieve in the outer world, our career, not necessarily so much our day-to-day job. That's more of a Virgo. Virgo governs day-to-day routines and, say, a job we go to, but our career, our aspirations in life, our things that we want to accomplish, our reputation, our outward status, our direction. If you think about the mountain goat imagery of Capricorn, it's like, what mountain are we climbing? Where are we working towards something on a consistent basis. And are we happy with that? Are we clear about where our views are? Are we clear about what mountain peaks we want to climb? So I think right now I'm going to recommend that it's a good time to go back. I have a friend named Karen who gave me some great advice, and she said, a key to happiness in life is whatever you enjoy doing, do more of it. And whatever you don't enjoy or doesn't bring you happiness, do less of it. It's really simple. And so whatever you enjoy, do more. And whatever you don't enjoy, do less. Whatever makes you happy, do more of that. Whatever makes you unhappy, do less of that. I find that some of the best things in life are really simple and really elegant. And I really believe that nature is that way too. You know, just like if you want to lose weight, the simplest advice is to eat less and exercise more. Things that are true are usually in very simple, elegant packages. So I'm going to encourage you to consider that go back, because it's a time of deep reflection. We're in the deepest point of this Mercury retrograde. Take the time, and it's a good exercise for the end of the year too. And with this new moon in Capricorn, it all works together to go back and reflect, revise, reassess, reconsider, look back and see what was it within the year 2016, which was a really tough year for a lot of people, and see what it was that didn't work, that brought you unhappiness, that wasn't working, that you don't want to experience more of. And then also reflect upon what it was that you achieved. What was it that you did enjoy? What was it that you savored, that brought you joy, that brought you, fulfillment, that you want more of? And really, maybe you make a list of 2 columns, things that you want to carry with you into this next year, and things that you want to leave behind. And especially if it comes to things that relate to career, accomplishments, things that you want to achieve, that's all Capricornian themes, especially related to that. Like if you have been going along this one track and you want to shift gears or I think of a boat, if you want to set your navigation a little bit differently, right now is a good point to do that, using, the navigation of your experience and the results that you've gotten from that to recalibrate. That's another word I'm going to use for this particular time of retrograde Mercury conjoining this new moon in Capricorn. It's time to recalibrate. Check your map. Check and see if you're going in the direction that you want to continue going in, or if there's something that you need to adjust. I'm going to use this image of the ship, see if there's stuff, old baggage that you want to cast off, that's weighing you down, that you want to let go of, to let your ship go in the direction that you want it to more. Just reassess. Think of it as like you're a captain of a ship. That's Capricornian imagery too. The captain, the person who is in charge, the person who sees things from the high point of view, the high perspective. So because the mountain goat climbs to the top of the mountain and looks back, it's always like hindsight is 2020. That's very Capricornian theme. So look back on this past year from the mountaintop of where you are right now, from this point of deep reflection, and just take a moment from that mountaintop to consider, what is it that I'm after? What's the next mountain I want to climb? Because also numerologically, 2016 was a 9-year, if you add up all the digits for 2016, for the world, anyone who uses this Gregorian calendar. 2016 was the end of a 9-year cycle. And we're beginning in 2017 a 1-year, which is the beginning of a new 9-year cycle. So this is really a portal for a big cycle that we're passing through. That's why we saw so much loss in 2016. 9 means letting go. 9 means wrapping things up. 9 means a completion of a cycle. So it's common both in our personal lives and our collective lives, to experience loss in a 9-year. It's what the theme of 9 is. It's letting go. And then a 1-year is all about becoming an infant again. It's the new fresh shoots. It's the new little things that are pushing up from under the ground. It's actually taking in things from our senses. One is the fertile valley, where 8 is like the number that corresponds with Capricorn here, means getting to the top of the mountain. 9 means letting go of the old cycle. And then 1 energy is when we become an infant again. It's equivalent to Aries, where it's about starting things. So once we actually get into, it's kind of poetic that there's this new moon happening right at the beginning, a conjunct Mercury retrograde. The retrograde's going to be finishing up within the first week or so of January, and then we're going to be starting this new year, 2017. So let this new beginning come in, but it's sort of like an extended period between the ending of the last year and then the beginning of this new year. And it's a great time for deep reflection. So I'm not actually going to go through each sign for this, because again, that new moon is sort of subsumed by this Mercury retrograde. It's in this theme of outer accomplishment, outer achievements, status, reputation, career, navigation, direction, life direction. So it's really a good time to assess, what are we doing with our lives? What do we want to accomplish? What do we want to achieve? The Sabian symbol for 7 degrees, 59 minutes. We round always up to the next degree in Sabian symbols. So it's 8 degrees Capricorn. And this is from Cornerstone Astrology. You can look that up too. Is the Sabian symbol for 8 degrees Capricorn is birds in a house singing happily, and so birds represents the spiritual. The house is an image and represents the self. So it's a time to take what is spiritual within ourselves and experience that joy, experience the joy of the self. The further explanation of that from Cornerstone Astrology is the happiness that radiates from an integrated personality. So when we go within and think deeply about what it is, what our values are, and what brings us joy, what brings us fulfillment, what pleases us, what makes us feel whole and complete and integrated, it naturally spurs joy. It naturally makes things radiate. That's actually the Sun card in the tarot as well. When you are, I think even Gandhi said something about that when we have our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions are all in alignment, that's where joy comes from. That's where happiness comes from. So I really want to encourage you to look at what is integrated. What do you need to revise, adjust, recalibrate, reassess, reconsider, maybe make some changes, finish things up, tie up loose ends during this Mercury retrograde as we head into the new year during this new moon. And what is it that's going to get you closer to the direction that you want to be going in? How can you align that ship in that direction? Because it's one that produces joy. When you are naturally integrated with yourself, it's like having those 3 birds singing in the house of the self. When your actions, your thoughts, and your emotions are all in alignment, it creates music. It creates literally harmony. If you think of a 3-note harmony, the bass, the 1, the 3, and the 5, for those who are musical, it's harmony, inner harmony. So I'm doing this a little bit differently today because, like I said, I normally go through all the signs, but because of this unique placement of this new moon conjoining this Mercury retrograde, I'm going to just say it's a time of deep reflection, and I'm going to offer the exercise of going back and reflecting upon 2016. What did it mean for you? What were your experiences? What were the things that filled you for 2016, and what were the things that you want to leave behind, and how can you integrate more of those things into yourself, recalibrate, reassess, reconsider, revise, finish up old things, to take you into this new year and to take you into the direction, that Capricornian theme. What mountains do you want to climb? Where do you want your ship to sail for this new 1 year? And that's a real theme for 2017 as well. A 1 year is when we consider, what direction do I want to set my sails in for the next 9-year cycle? So it's a big one. So take this time, everyone, to just assess, reassess, reconsider, relax, rethink, revise, re-strategize, recalibrate, and hopefully get to a place where you're integrated with yourself and you experience the birds singing, that spiritual wholeness, that spiritual integration that creates joy. So that's my video for you today on this new moon in Capricorn, conjunct Mercury retrograde, also in Capricorn. And I want to wish everyone a very wonderful new year going forward. Thanks so much for watching. Yours in the stars.